What is UX research? Really, it has several key goals. The first thing, and really one of the biggest things, is that we want to understand what the needs and challenges are that your users are facing on whatever it is that we're improving the UX of, whether it's a website, a online portal, even just a page or a section of a website. We want to take the time to gather data and to do research into what it is that's really challenging people so that we know what we need to focus our UX efforts on going forward. Now, the reason why we like to do this with so much research and dive into the data is because you are not your users. Oftentimes, when we spend a lot of time working on a website, we start to make assumptions about the website. And what we really want to do, rather than just going off of those assumptions and going off of those feelings that we're having, is back all of that up with data. We want to make sure that we're taking as much of a data-based approach as possible to make sure that we're making the right changes, not just what feels right. The other reason is because you aren't your users. As much as we understand our audiences and we think we know exactly what it is that they need from us in terms of our websites or other digital tools, we aren't them. We aren't living their lives and dealing with what they are dealing with on a daily basis. So we want to make sure that we keep that user perspective in mind and make sure that nothing has changed, or make sure that we're still basing our decision making on the right types of data from our users. All of this research is meant to generate ideas on how to fix these challenges and how to meet the needs of our users going forward. But it's good to keep in mind that we're collecting all of this data for a reason, and keep in mind that we're trying to solve those user challenges through this data and research. So a good place to start is to consider, why am I doing UX? Why am I looking to make changes to my website from a UX perspective as a whole? And there's two different kind of approaches that might influence the way that you collect data and the way that you move forward with this UX process as a whole. The first is, are we looking at making holistic changes to a website or other type of digital system? Are we saying, hey, our UX as a whole on our website just isn't great. We want to make some big picture changes, and we want to change things from a large standing. We know that it's not just one area of the site. We have a feeling that there's a lot of things that we can make improvements to. And that's one way of thinking about it, that we want to make sure that we're looking at things from the big picture perspective and keep that in mind when we're gathering data. However, UX is just as effective if we're just looking at a specific page or a specific element or a much more specific part of a website. It's good to keep that goal in mind when we go in, so that we know we're collecting the right data and that we're asking the right questions to our users.